Okay, so I'm reading this book called The Greatness Mindset by Lewis Howes. Lewis Howes is a guy I've been watching or listening to his podcast for a few years now. I'd really recommend him. But in his book, I highlighted it somewhere, right here. It says, when I asked him what happens if human beings don't find a meaningful mission, he replied, for one thing, they live a routine life like boredom, where the intellect goes to sleep. Then you don't need to look for a purpose in life because you just exist. But it's when you are more mature that you start thinking, what's the purpose of life? That's a sign of mature intellect. And once you have that spirit of inquiry about life itself, then our spiritual journey begins. And I want to talk about that because it really stuck out to me about how some people will just go through the motions and not even realize how their life is, and they're just so comfortable with it every single day. Let me fix the camera. And it's just like, how can you keep living the way you are and not second guess it? So it's like there has to be a point where you're like, okay, you have to change your identity and say, okay, I'm not going to watch the porn. I'm not going to eat the junk food. I'm going to stop going out with friends. I see where this is getting me. It's getting me nowhere. You really just, like it talked about, you have to have that spiritual awakening within you. And I don't know what that looks like for some of you guys, but for me personally, I saw a lot of people doing self-destructive activities like, especially going out and drinking every weekend, hooking up with girls, and it was like, that's just so unattractive to me. So for me, stuff like that, it was never a personal experience because I saw other people doing that crap, and it was just like, no, that's not for me. So there has to come a point in your life, guys, where you're saying, I'm not watching that porn. I'm not eating that junk food. I'm not staying up late. I'm not watching Instagram Reels. I'm deleting TikTok. I'm not doing all this crap that's getting me nowhere in my life, okay? There has to be a point in your life where you say, I am done doing this crap. Because if you don't, you're just going to keep living day by day by day by day and not getting anywhere, guys. And that's not what I want for you, okay? So you have to understand, there has to be a point where you just say, I am done with this And it's like, come on. So many people I know I talk like this every video, but it's just the truth. Like, you have to recognize what you're doing, if it's right or if it's wrong. For me, a big awakening for me was probably back in August, September last year. It was like, I'm just done. I'm done being plateaued of where I am. And I'll pop a picture of what I looked like. I was just skinny fat. I made a little bit of progress, I'd say, but I'm not content anymore ever where I am, regardless if I'm making progress or not. I'm just not content with it. You always have to be wanting more. Like, it's Tuesday night right now, by myself, making some ground lamb, about to make some eggs over there. Oh. And sweet potatoes. All gonna be cooked in duck fat, of course. Where's it at? Right here. 100% duck fat. But, guys, you gotta realize that, like, you can't keep living the way you're living if it's not getting you anywhere, If it's just self-destructive activities, what's the point of keep doing it, Just because it feels good or it feels right. It's like, no. There comes a point where it's like, screw this, I'm done. Whatever it is for you, maybe it was, I don't know, like something happened with your friend or someone told you something you didn't like and it ate you up inside, and it was like, okay, this is my time where I'm going to be done living like this and I'm actually going to make a change. So guys, whatever that is for you, I hope that you wake up to it, and a lot of you guys are doing great out there. I know a lot of people who are improving their lives every day. So this still applies to me. Obviously, I don't have everything figured out myself, but it's like, there has to come a point where you have to self-evaluate and realize that I can be doing better. So let's actually do better and do something about this. So yeah, I just want to come on here and just briefly talk about how you just have to change your identity. Just say you don't do that anymore. I don't do this. I don't do that. I don't involve myself with self-destructive activities. I only level up because here's another example quick. Like for me, I still live with my parents, but as you can tell, we don't buy like any crap at all in our house. So like you look everywhere, you can even look in the fridge, I don't care. So you might see some poison, but most of it, like, you know, duck eggs, I have no ground beef, but like as you can tell, there's no goy slop in our fridge, because once you change your identity and just say like, I don't eat like this anymore, it just makes it so much easier to be consistent and start to see progress, guys. So yeah, like I said, just want to come on here and just really express this identity shift that you need to have, you know. So appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video, and like, subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.